Greetings and solutions. Welcome back to the Appalachian Outfeed. We caught a little bit of good weather here. I say good, it's cloudy, but it's not freezing. Tomorrow, well, we're expecting an ice storm and snow starting tonight around midnight. So the weather people say. We'll see how that goes. Looking forward to if it'll happen. We've had a kind of a false spring the last couple days. It's warm up, been really nice around here for the most part. But anyway, it's supposed to get really cold tomorrow, and before it got cold for a few days and the wood pile kind of froze up. Again, all this is mostly pretty green wood. Wanted to do just a little comparison video, letting you guys check out the difference in speed between an MS500 and a Stihl MS390. So you probably know the 500 is a pro grade saw, fuel injected steel. Again, this one's running a 32-inch bar with an Oregon full chisel round ground chain, full comp, box stock except for the air filter. Got a Max Flo air filter on there, which is, in my opinion, a lot better than the factory air filter. Then we got the MS390. This guy's got a 20-inch bar on it, which is honestly probably a little bit much of a bar for that saw, but it does pull it if I don't get too carried away. Same deal, Oregon chain, full chisel, round ground. That chain actually is not as fresh as the one on the 500. Pruned up some apple trees in the back the other day, and I was back there earlier bucking up some of that stuff. It was dead on the stump, and so bucked up some of that, and there was some green stuff back there too. That one's got, I don't know, half a tank of gas on that chain. This chain, if I remember right, is pretty fresh on the 500, so not a super fair comparison. But the reason I'm doing this is when that 390, since I got this 500, that 390 hadn't seen a whole lot of daylight. But I touched that chain up the other day thinking it was a ripping chain. I was going to use it for noodling up stumps and that kind of thing. And when I was sharpening it, I'm like, man, this angle sure is a lot like a regular chain. And sure enough, that's what it is. Didn't do worth a hoot at noodling, but I was pleasantly surprised at how good that saw performed in oak. So what we've got is a piece of 10-inch fairly green oak. Probably run the 500i first. Yeah, we'll run the 500i first, make a couple cuts with it so you can get an idea of that. And as per usual on this wood pile, I'm going to be using, you know, the last third of the bar down by the nose sprocket cutting. I'm not going to be dogging in cutting this wood. Same thing goes with the 390. And I'm not putting I'm not putting pressure on the saw trying to power through the wood. I'm letting the chain do the work. So I think one of the things we're going to find out here is the significance of a fresh, sharp chain. Man, if you got a good chain on your saw, you can do a lot of good work. I did a bunch of good work with that 390 before I got to 500i. So now, would I trade the 390 for the 500? No way. 500 all day long. This dude is a Cadillac. That's kind of a, I don't know what you'd call it, Toyota Corolla kind of deal. It'll get you there, just not quite as stylish. While we're at it, two quick things that actually three reminders for you if you're running saws on any kind of frequent basis or even infrequent basis. So if you're going to move up to a longer bar, it's good to max out that oiler. And on these pro model Stihls, starting somewhere around the I don't know, I know the 462 and maybe the one below it has this same setup, and everything above it has it. But here's where you adjust oil on the bottom, and it shows you on here, turning it clockwise gives you more oil, more bar oil on the chain. And on these Pro model saws, there's a little roll pin in there, and that pin acts as a stop. You have to kind of get down there and look, but you can see it. So you can max that screw out, but when you hit that stop, if you want to take some kind of little punch and reach down there and just lightly tap that roll pin up into the case, you can get about another, I don't know, third of a turn on that oil screw, and now you're at max oil capacity. So if you're running a longer bar, that's something to pay attention to. I got reminded the other day about the importance of occasionally greasing the needle bearing that rides behind. You take the clutch cover off, and then you're looking at your sprocket. Take that off, a little E-clip. When you pull that sprocket rim off, your actual clutch in there, well, it's not the clutch cover, the chain brake deal. Behind that is a needle bearing. Go to Stihl, spend $8, get you some of their general purpose grease. It's very tacky and it just really feels like good grease. And for $8 you get about your grandson will be using that same tube of grease on his saws. Come in and hit that needle bearing in there, or better yet, replace it. I think I looked online the other day. I think the factory OEM needle bearing was $8. That thing only works so when the chain is pulling and the clutch is locked up, that needle bearing isn't doing anything. It's just when the saw's idling and the chain brake's on, it's spinning on that. But that needle bearing, the idea of that sits on the end of your crank. So if that bearing goes out, you end up messing up the end of your crankshaft, which gets a little bit more spendy than an $8 bearing. So just a little maintenance tip to think about. While you're doing all that mess, might be worth thinking about throwing another fuel filter in there. You know, that's probably a good annual maintenance practice. I know that 390 needs a new fuel filter, and I'll tell you, my little MS170 is starting to develop a miss. When I first crank it, it doesn't want to go. After I goose it a few times, it fires up pretty good. But I'm wondering if that's not that fuel filter is not starting to clog up, so I need to look at that too. So anyway, enough yakking. Let's get to cutting. Well, there you go. That's a little bit more cutting what that 390 I intended to do. But you get the idea. Honestly, I'm not sure I did such a good job on that 500 chain. That 390 chain seemed like it was actually throwing bigger chips. I'm not really sure what that's about. I have to take another look at that. But yeah, guys, that's what I got for you. Stay tuned. We're going to come back with the 500i and pretty much knock out the rest of this wood pile in the next little bit. That won't be long, so stand by for that. In the meantime, I appreciate you watching. If you want to hit that little thumbs up button below, that'll help out. Throw me a comment if I said something wrong, or you got any thoughts you want to share. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Whew. Well, there you go. I didn't really plan to get into all that. I was just gonna make a couple of cuts, but hey man, had to saw out, camera running, and wood was there, so why not, right? Whew, that was fun. I think this right here is a big old piece of hickory. And I'm not convinced. I kind of wondered when he dropped this off if it's going to be solid or not. I'm not sure it is. That's a little soft, yep. I mean, it's almost pretty good. Actually, I was thinking about milling that one up. But I think we'll pass on that. We'll burn that bad boy. Well, there you go. 500i versus 390. Yeah, that 500i chain, it was cutting okay, but it wasn't throwing the same kind of chips as that 390. I gotta get back in there and figure that out. I don't know if I got a depth gauge problem or what I got going on there. But you can see she cuts. But yeah, man, that 390, not a bad saw, you know, for what it is. I think the key to the whole deal again is keeping those cutters sharp and your rakers set correctly, and you can get out there and have some fun, being careful while we do it. All right, guys, well, that really is all there is for today. I've got to reorient this wood pile and set it up so I can get to some fresh wood. We'll see how this storm in the next couple of days treats us, and I'm gonna try to get back out here as quick as I can. So hopefully that'll be coming sooner than later. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.